We want to talk about reading the art of subliminal messages and pretty much the different signs and examples that I have and thought about over a couple of days. But the first thing is reading people body language and just understanding that actions speak louder than words, and even to throw key words in there too and get that out the way. Like people even use their language like they'll say a whole paragraph of soliloquy and literally only two or three words that really fucking matter out of the whole statement or whatever. And same with people actions. People words versus their actions. Like they'll tell you they love you, they'll tell you they miss you, but their actions won't show you that shit at all. Same with government, same with so many different things. Like they'll tell you they got the best interest for you. Same with your job. They tell you they want you to rest, but they'll call your ass in the next morning to work 12 hours. They're like people preach these things because it gives them a moral high ground in how they feel about themselves and the places they belong to and the places they work for. But when it really get down to the nitty gritty, you pretty much see the true wounds and whatever you want to call it. You see the true stripes of the people and what they really about. And I mean, honestly, yeah, Jobs is the best example you could use because they'll preach all that family and all that shit, and soon as shit get busy, you can tell the difference in their approach because you have a high turnout rate with like workers and shit like that. Like you preaching family, but you can't keep nobody, so it's clearly your actions not speaking louder than your words. And I've dealt with that so many times. And same with the government, bro. We follow these governments. We follow a lot of different people. It's abusive and oppressive to you. I mean, you really oppressing yourself by letting them have it, but the fact that you just like their actions show you that they never cared about the American people, let alone the gold and their copper people. Like, bro, they never gave a fuck about us, and they even enslaved us. I'm gonna talk about that. I mean, later. Like, we've been at war really since they even got over here. So I mean, bro, what message can you really get besides, I mean, the true actions and that we're not really friendly. Like we really behind enemy lines. Like that's the subliminal message that we've been getting all this time. And I mean, people, like I said, not really as good as reading these things, but bro, when you start reading these things, you see the true colors of the world, bro, and it really awakens you up, and you start operating and maneuvering a lot different. But another thing that people like to say, and it goes to the whitewashing and the see no color shit, bro. Like people literally, like, this is really brought up from the Jesus and the whole whitewashing shit. But it's like, bro, y'all went on crusades for thousands to hundreds of years on your knowledge, and if people didn't believe what you believed, then you would throw them in pits with lions and all type of other shit to make people believe what you believe in. Now all of a sudden that we waking up and claiming our shit back, like, oh no, don't believe in that race, this one race is chosen and all that shit like that, when it's plenty of, like, even the shit that they pulled it from, when we go to the same shit they pulled it from, we can see how they lied. We can see where the manipulation started. Like, there's literally 12 tribes of people of melanated and copper beings versus a whole other tribe that's not like that. And I mean, I guess I don't know if they're Edomites, Esau, Gentiles. I don't know if those are different tribes or really one of all of the same. But it's like, bro, we got the copper melanated people, and then we got these other degenerative F people. And like, bro, the fact that you say it's not a golden race, I mean, it's not a chosen race and all that shit, there's literally, you're the only person saying that now. There's always been this golden race. There's always been a select few that had to rise out of here. Like, that's the whole thing about, bro, I mean, honestly, that's the whole thing about being saved, that it's a select group, and then to think that everybody's going to be saved, bro, who believes that? Like, we're not even on the same vibration and paths. Like, the fact that to think that we're all going to the same place is even irrational. Even the Bible say there's going to be a split between people going to heaven and hell, even though, there's many videos on my perception of that shit, but still, like, it just go to show, bro, like, there's subliminal messages on how they taught you shit, and then now that you're waking up to all this shit, they want to reform how you're thinking, and it's like, I'm already doing that. I'm already unlearning and relearning, but now you want to be a part of that process again, and bro, and that shit pisses me off, to be honest. Like, niggas, like, it's not niggas, it's actually fucking white people, like, they'll tell you, bro, like, oh no, we're all a part of a race. You're speaking hate. You're speaking. It's like, nigga, I don't hate you. You come from us, and you don't respect us. And the fact that we had so many messages, not even subliminal messages, so many messages that show that you're going to go against us at every fucking turn. Your words will never fucking match your actions. Like, Period. It said in the Bible there'd be a bunch of broken promises. And from your birth, you've been degenerative, deceitful, and bro, you've been a hater in the sense of the words that we like to use now, bro. Like, y'all been hating on our swag. That's the story of Esau and Jacob. Like, nigga, from y'all birth, y'all haven't been fucking with us. So why would I ever think that, you know, we're gonna ever mesh back together, or is it ever gonna be peaceful? That's bullshit. Well, like I said, bro, you say you see no color, and it's just go to show where they come from. Like, now you see no color. That's a bit. Don't ask your country. This is what Kennedy said. Don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Like, bro, that's straight slave talk. Don't ask what your master can do for you, but what can you do for the plantation? Well, that's straight MLK shit. Don't ask what this burning house can do for you, but ask what you can do for the burning house. Yeah, you can try to save this bitch, but if you come in here, it's not gonna help you. Facts. Like, that's literally what it is. That's literally what his statement was, and that's the subliminal message I got from it. Maybe y'all got something different. If you did, you know, hit it in the comments. Maybe we could talk about it. But like, honestly, like, the shit that they tell us, bro, they just show you you're the pawns in the game. That, I mean, yeah, you're allowing yourself to be a pawn. Like, I have to always say that, bro, because I really don't believe in any oppression besides self-oppression. But like, we allow these things to, you know, monopolize and manipulate us more type shit. So we get into a deeper hole in a sense. But yeah, bro, like, that statement alone, man, like, people go to war for this country. People go to, like, people like pretty much live their whole lives out for this country and paying taxes and working and never really doing the things that they wanted to do. And like, bro, it just go to show, like, this country wouldn't do that for you. This country wouldn't use all of its last resources to make you happy. This country wouldn't do, like, bro, it wouldn't do these things that they asking you to do for it. And what's crazy is the government was set up to do that. The government was meant to benefit you, not the other way around. Like, that's why we supposedly created it, but like I said, we vote our rights away, so I'm not surprised they turned on us. What else? Hating on the swastika. We don't hate on the swastika. If we see the swastika, we'll look at people wearing that with more hate than if we were seeing a person riding with an American flag. And same even with the Confederate flag too. Like, people are woke to the Confederate flag and trying to change it, but it just go to show you how one-track minded you are, nigga. These countries both had slaves. These countries, neither one of them really wanted to get rid of slaves. Like, if we get into the real nitty-gritty of it, they only broke up because they didn't know how to deal with the slaves. One people wanted to go the Willie Lynch approach, one people wanted to go liberal approach. So they split and then hit you from two different fronts. And like I said, we made them divide, so shit, they fucked up in the long run. Because like we said, we still got that niggas versus Trump and versus the liberals. So like, hey, bro, we're the spirit. The spirit really been in action for a long ass time. But back to what I was saying, like, you won't go against the American flag, but you'll go against the Confederate flag. And even further than that, you won't even go against the swastika, which, I mean, not saying, fuck. You'll feel bad for people that had to go against the Jew shit and the whole Hitler shit and won't even think about or think twice about the American flag and how they mistreated you and pretty much oppressed you and shit like that. And it just go to show you who trained you, who taught you, and all these different things. Like, bro, even what's the shit? The Star Spangled Banner talk about a slave will stay a slave. But what's the shit called? Not the Star Spangled Banner. Shit, everything in America got the shit in it, bro. I'm not about to pick out one fucking point. Like, bro, honestly, like, if you don't see this shit, you're crazy. Like, but people, like, they tell us all the time to forget about our history, forget about our past, and they even train us to forget about our past. They don't want, like, another talking to a Gentile, like the motherfucker say, bro, you didn't go through that shit. And I talk about it, bro. Our soul is everlasting and ever absorbing and, bro, really projecting too. And the fact that you think that I didn't go through that shit is crazy. The fact that you think you're not benefiting off your Odin, like the nigga from Thor and Odin, like I said, bro, Thor had his kingdom and didn't know what happened and how it was achieved, bro. Like, y'all are a bunch of Thors, bro, happy as fuck, believing your gods and all these different things in a sense of, I mean, Thor was a god in the movie, but y'all actually believe this shit. Y'all really think that y'all just was this almighty kingdom that just rose and can't really ever fall, bro, but that shit gonna be gone in a heartbeat, bro. What have you done? That's what he asked Thanos. I destroyed this bitch. Oh, I can't wait, bro. From the ashes, we'll make a new life. Something better. And I find that making these videos with this anger is so much better, bro. I be trying to be nice to people, bro, but fuck y'all. Y'all not nice to me. Here it is. I'm just playing. But nah, I really don't give a fuck about this, like, this state of existence, bro. If you're not feeling, if you can't understand what I'm saying, bro, I guarantee you we're not friends. I'm just saying, being real. But let's finish talking. Yeah, pretty much just the end of it, you relate to somebody else paying more than your own, because I mean, bro, if once 9/11 happened, hey, more reason to forget about the black plight and the things that happened, because literally after 9/11, everything with black people was cool for a while until, you know, the Obama shit came into office, but they were like, we were one of the people in America now, like we were blending in. But before 9/11, you know, we was the outcasts, we was the terrorists, and before the other terrorists from, you know, the other side of the other black people. They had to equate us. They had to make us feel one with America. Like, it's a part of their bullshit ass process, bro. They think that's gonna work, but some more subliminal messages, bro. Try to end off here. You want to be saved, right? Everybody has the urge to want to be saved. Either you have the urge to want to be saved by something higher, something that's inside, something that's. Some people even want to be saved by the devil. We have proof of that too. Like, I want to be saved by everything, in a sense, like the whole universe. I want to be connected back to one. I want to go back to my connection. That subliminal message means that I'm restricted now, and I'm limited now. And even Bobby Hemmett, I want to say this now, he was saying that sin is really the skin, and it really means that you were born into limitation. You was born into bondage. It's not that you were born into do bad and these other different things. Like, that's bullshit. Like the sex shit, like I talk about marriage and what real marriage is. It's really just sex. Like I talk about these things, and like really the whole born into sin is you're really born and you lost your connection, and that's like the whole baby mind, Babylon, and all that shit like that. We're in babyland. Really, a bunch of people acting like children, can't remember where they came from, like a bunch of shit. Like, honestly, like, we all seem like we don't have no higher purpose, in a sense. Like, I ain't gonna say we all, but you can tell that's what this society is running off of. It's just running off lower vibing shit. Like, bro, I always wanted something greater. It's just like the fact that you know this is not it. This is like, even if you got $1 million, bro, you would feel the same way that you feel right now. J. Cole is a great example. He's a great example. Kendrick Lamar is a great example. Drake is a great example, because these niggas express their true emotions, honestly. They talk about how they got the money and all this shit, but they not these dumb niggas like Lil Yachty. I got money, I'm out here to support. Like, no, nigga, it's more than this shit. Even though you got money, nigga, it ain't everything. And these people, if you listen to your, you know, the people that you like in music right now, they'll tell you, bro, you can get all this money you want, but you still gonna be urging for a change. You still gonna be urging for something different. You want something greater, because this shit that we're connected to, this false illusion, this false nature, like the false shit, that the false green we have to rely on, bro, like it won't ever be good enough for us, bro. We're God's children. We're universal beings, bro. And I mean, like I said, not everybody's going to feel that way. Some people are going to be content here. Some people are going to love this world because the things that they've strove, and how far they strived, and the things that they made, and the shit, there's really nothing else more for them. And they know that spiritually and soulfully, so they don't ever want this world to end as they know it. But for us, it will end as we know it, because, I mean, bro, we don't want this shit. And, like, honestly, you might get that big house you want. You might get that mansion, bro. But, like I said, them thoughts are still going to creep in your head, bro. That God self, that spirit, if you're still alive in there, like, it's going to tell you, like, nope, this is not it. I still want something more. And like I said, even if I got all my land and shit like that, I will be at my peace. I will be at my content. But, bro, the universe, this world is still not free. I'm still not honestly, bro, like, it's still fucked up. And the fact that it's fucked up, that mean I could easily sucked back into this shit. Like, honestly, all it take was a war or somebody bombing or I don't believe in these things affecting me no more, but chemtrails, anything could harm my crops or some shit like that. So it's like, honestly, bro, until we really make that big change, this big shift, that snap of the fingers, and American can just be crying and be like, oh, my beautiful, my Lord, my White House, my white picket, all that shit gonna be gone, burning, just on fire, bro. I'm just gonna be watching. Honestly, bro, I just can't wait. That's my pleasure, but I'm out. Pieces.